Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video person. Oh my god. And yeah, okay, as you may already know, OT is here. Hello, OT. It's
Jamie.
been too long. Welcome back to the channel.
You were just getting done talking about how you weren't sure how to open the video, so hope that helps.
So you decided to give me a hand, give me a jump scare. Thank you.
I was so ready for our collab today, except that I was still in the shower when you messaged me and said, hey, OT, I'm sitting here ready to record. And I was like, oh, whoopsie. So I'm still, my hair's a bit wet, but I am ready.
Well, I think your hair's looking great, and I'm glad you're ready. Thanks for being here. If anyone doesn't know OT, do you want to do a little intro to yourself for anyone who doesn't know you, which I feel like wouldn't be that many people at this point, but...
Nah.
Oh, okay. OT, everybody.
Jamie, I really enjoyed meeting you at your book event. Did y'all know that Jamie wrote a book and it's published and you can actually purchase a copy yourself? Did y'all know that? You should.
Oh my God.
It was very fun to meet you and some of your fans over at the book signing event. I had a really good time.
Me too. It was very special to get to hang out in person.
All right, what are we looking at today, Jamie?
So today, OT, I am welcoming you to the joys of transphobic memes. That's the intro to the video. We're just going to have a look at some transphobic memes, and we're going to talk about transphobia and turn a negative into a positive.
Just
Are you
for
ready?
Context for everybody, Jamie has DM'd me a folder, and the folder's name is just transphobic memes.
Yes.
I'm so ready.
I hope you're going to enjoy them as much as you can enjoy transphobia.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see what they are. Biocios. Biocios. Them isn't a pronoun, apparently.
Do you use pronouns? Yes. No.
Hate the idea of them? Jesus Christ had pronouns. Are you serious?
But also them. They hate the idea of them, but they're using one in the option.
They are using that.
I love the idea that there's some people out there so transphobic that they genuinely believe they can avoid using pronouns.
Just how do you refer to other people in conversation? Even if you're saying for yourself that you are pronounless, how do you refer to other people in conversation?
I would assume with a grunt.
With a grunt.
Or just like a name. Everybody is now just Bob.
Everybody's very monosyllabic in my workplace. We don't have pronouns. That's Wait, is then a pronoun? Oh no. It's a neo-pronoun. Oh my goodness.
It does become a pronoun.
They don't like pronouns. They like neo-pronouns. I see.
We solved it. Oh my God. OT the genius. You finally found some logic in the transphobia. South Park's satire depicting transgender athletes beating female athletes was both unfunny and dangerous. Is it finally time to ban the series from television, streaming services, and all other forms of media? Yes, ban South Park. Or no, I am transphobic.
Why are you gay? Oh.
I do like the options on this post of like forcing people to admit they're transphobic if they don't want to get rid of transphobia in media. I wonder where it went out to. This must have gone out to a very specific echo chamber online to get 96%. We'll blame it on Twitter.
Twitter's an interesting place.
It's an interesting place that I've decided to very much stay away from.
It used to be a little bit more fun to engage with stuff over there. And I don't know. It's almost as if somewhere in 2023 there was a sudden shift, a disturbance in the force that changed everything. And now as soon as I open my replies, not only are my replies all ads or like verified accounts selling crypto, but there's also boobs in my replies. Excuse me?
Oh, shocking, OT. Not your reply.
As a fan of boobs myself, I don't mind them. I will tolerate boobs. I'm very boob tolerant.
Okay.
I'm very progressive that way. But I don't think they should be in every reply to my tweets. Like when I'm posting a cute little frog picture, someone's like, oh, you like frogs? That's awesome. Boobs. This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them. Here's a list of 58 gender options for Facebook users. Where do all these guys come from? 58? That's interesting. I didn't realize Facebook was totally chill with neopronouns. Unless they're counting like he, him, his as 3 different ones. And then that vastly shortens the list.
Yeah, I'm not sure, if I'm honest.
Here, hold on. Let me pull out a calculator. 58 divided by 3 is 19. Okay, well, still, that's quite a few.
I feel like it's something that people just get very tied up about, others like doing their thing. I'm just like, if it's not hurting anybody, do your thing. If 58 gender options are annoying to you, then don't use all the options.
Yeah, you know, I don't get super mad when I see different birth years when I'm signing up for an account. I don't go, what is 1958 doing here? I wasn't born then. I'm gonna scroll all the way to my result?
Yeah.
How dare they? I'm very offended by this. I've got one for you. Do you want to hear my fun fact?
I do, yes.
Did you know that Napoleon Dynamite, that smash hit cult classic, was actually filmed on a budget of $400,000, which was raised by a single individual who was the brother of the editor of the film.
I did not know all of that detail, but I feel like I knew it was a relatively budget film, but that was very impressive.
It was based on a short film that was submitted to Sundance, and then the full film was filmed in 2003 and released in 2004, which, fun fact, was 20 years ago.
I maybe feel a little bit old now.
Do you remember the film Monsters, Inc.?
Yes. Oh no, please don't.
Do you remember the character Boo in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a fun fact, actually. With how much time has passed since the film took place, she was actually 2 years old in the film. Well, based on when the film was released and that she was 2 years old back then, today she would be 25 and potentially have her own kids that hear monsters in the closet.
Wow.
Boo is 25 years old.
Boo is grown up. Do you know, you're just scaring me now. The only trans I care about is trans dimensions, so there'd be a dimension where you freaks didn't exist. Okay. I mean, to be fair, if that would get trans people away from transphobia, I don't think the trans people are gonna complain, you know?
The usual argument that I see is that they're saying that transness doesn't exist. It's not real. This argument is saying, aha, it is real, and I would like to remove myself from it.
Yeah, I feel like transphobes have not had the group meeting to get their stories straight.
They don't have super consistent logic, no.
I wonder why that is. I kind of hate that they used a minion, though, because I like Minion.
All right, but it's clearly a Facebook meme. Have you ever looked at Minion Facebook memes?
I have not. Do I want to?
They went hog wild in 2019, back when I was starting my channel. Did you know, fun fact, I started my channel 5 years ago in 2019, which was 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
It's almost 6 now.
Wow. That feels like a long time. And then I feel really old because I started mine 13 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. Yeah.
Lockdown started 4 years ago.
That, Sharp and I were talking about that the other day. That blows my mind. I was like, do you know lockdown was 4 years ago? And she was like, no. But yeah, it really was. It feels like a whole different time.
Our experience of time has certainly shattered since then.
Maybe we did go to a trans dimension then.
Maybe.
That's what's happened. Ooh. Unfortunately, there are still transphobes here, though.
Ah, shucks. Can we please talk about my pronouns still? Explosions. These are the sounds of explosions.
Was that your explosion sound?
You don't make explosion sounds in your video?
I don't think I've ever put an explosion sound in a video. I was just thinking it would be more like... Yours was like a harsh wind.
And you saying you never release a harsh wind?
I mean, sometimes.
Get it? Because, there's bigger things happening in the world, and we can't hold two conversations at the same time, obviously.
How dare you be concerned about issue A when issue C is happening? Oh my goodness.
We have to be singularly focused on the thing that I find important, not what you find important, and we can't multitask.
I have a theory. That's what it is. Transphobes just cannot multitask or think deeply about more than one thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they don't care about trans people. I'd actually prefer if transphobes were just completely indifferent. I'm like, if you're indifferent to me and you're like, I don't get it, I don't support it, but I'm just going to sit back and live my own life, I'm kind of like, fine. But it's when people who don't know anything insert themselves into the conversation and think that they have an authority to speak and be like,
yeah, there's bigger things going on. We don't need to speak about these trans people.
And then it kind of spreads and other people are like, yeah, trans people, that's a no issue right now. We don't care about them. I just don't like transphobes, okay, OT?
I wish they wouldn't elevate the smallest of conversations and make it seem like it's the biggest thing that's happening right now. Like, what's the biggest thing that's happening in the world of LGBT today? Pronouns? And we've moved on from that ages ago.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that we're still actively discussing right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's like the transphobes and like particularly the politicians who are also spreading this transphobia, who are using trans people to cover up the bigger issues. It's not trans people that are ignoring other issues and only talking about trans things. It's the transphobes that are doing that.
Yeah, any opportunity to otherize a smaller subsect of the populace in order to get people fighting and infighting with them instead of focusing on the big issues like, maybe voting out the politician we all don't like.
Yeah, maybe we should care about our planet. Ooh.
Maybe we should tax people a little bit more and share our resources slightly. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, you know those billionaires? Maybe we should have a look.
Do you know there's plastic plastic in the balls. Everybody has plastic inside them now, Jamie. I don't mean to be crass, but microplastics are literally everywhere. They're in our bones.
Did you say they're in balls?
Don't get stuck on that one. I also said it's in the rain, Jamie. Microplastics are in the rain.
Oh dear.
It's this generation's lead paint. We're ruined.
Shoot. Yeah. In that context, let's focus on the transphobia for today's video.
Fair enough.
That's slightly less scary.
I have a confession. I used to be a Christian.
Doesn't worry me, babe.
Awesome. I much prefer being a wait. They changed their name. Big reveal.
Oh my god. Ha ha ha. Not Christian as in religion. I thought you might enjoy the pun of this one.
Yeah.
Enjoy it as much as you can enjoy a transphobic joke. Although, to be fair, I always say come up with something original, and this feels mildly original. I still hate it, but...
Out of the ones that I've seen, it's not as dehumanizing as the other ones that I usually see.
Yeah.
It's like, whoop, I was surprised, rather than, oh, you're inhuman.
Yeah, they focus more on surprise rather than disgust, which is novel and nicer. But, yeah, Christian to Christine, how funny.
Well, listen, if you felt attraction for this person through and through during the entire experience, before, during, after, and you're very comfortable in bed next to them, does it really matter what their name was before?
Exactly. It's an interesting concept when people find out. So when they find out someone's trans and then suddenly everything about that person is then like a no-go. It's like, but you found them attractive 10 seconds ago before you knew they were trans. Nothing about their appearance and who they are has changed. It's an interesting thing to happen.
I saw a stand-up comic do a bit where he talked about finding trans people attractive, and his friend would come over and be like, Paul, didn't you know that they used to be a man? And he'd say, well, are they currently? I don't think so, right? She's not. Oh, did you know that people used to be babies? Like, people change over time.
Yeah, if we were all what we were born, that would be an interesting world, because we would literally just all be like crying, pooping babies.
Oh, Jamie, I really like the highbrow humor we have in these videos.
It's a gift.
Owning the libs by dying.
Yeah.
Transgender Sussex paramedic says patients refuse her help.
Why?
Oh, I see what they've done. Oh, I get it. Oh, it's such a Chad move to die. Wow, what a good meme. You ever watch old commercials of people talking about how they don't want to wear seatbelts, and they're talking about it's government overreach? And
Really?
Oh, I can't believe they're telling me that I have to wear a seatbelt for my own protection. How dare they? I'm not gonna. And then they, eventual conclusions happen.
There was an anti-seatbelt movement.
Yes.
Seriously. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to America, Jamie.
Wow. That's very sad.
Yes, but it seems to be the human experience that there's going to be a certain percentage of the population that is just
really, really silly.
This way.
Yeah. Imagine being so stuck in your own closed-mindedness that you would literally refuse help from a paramedic, someone who's trying to save your life or make you feel better because you don't agree with something about them. It's just it's so bizarre to me.
It's a weird hill to die on, but at least you're dead.
You could literally die on this hill and it's not worth it.
No, it's such a weird thing to be mad about. I personally would rather not die rather than hold a prejudice. Maybe on your own time, Maybe if you need help and you're asking for help, you just kind of put stuff aside so you can get that help. Maybe I'm the weird one.
No, I'm with you. I would rather get the help. Definitely. This one says, can we please send everyone from Trans Flag back to their own country? And I'm going to take it as satire. Nice little trans joke.
I think it's a play on the other joke. Like, damn, where are the girls from this flag from? Because they're all hot or something. It's phrased in some way like that.
Can we still go with it being satire?
Maybe, but if it's phobic, they have an interesting level of awareness of trans-related memes and jokes that you'd only kind of expect from people that read them quite a bit, Go into the subreddits, find them kind of relatable, look at them, think about things. If you're lashing out like this, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of introspection. Maybe you got some stuff to learn about yourself.
And this is why you have older sibling vibes, OT. Very sweet. Just maybe you said something mean here. Maybe take a minute. Have a think.
Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. It's just a very lovely, calm response.
I think everybody has the capacity to do better, and I'd like to give them the room to do that. Sometimes they're not gonna, but at least I'll have tried.
I try to have patience, especially when people are expressing certain views, but in a particular way that seems like it's coming from a genuine place of misunderstanding or having misinformation.
Oh, people goof up all the time. I had a conversation with someone, I think only a month ago, where they were curious about the other letters that were tacked onto LGBT plus,
Okay.
like LGBTQIA2SP, and I went through all of them and explained them, and it's interesting to have conversations with people that are so offline, that are so disconnected from these conversations that they've kind of missed the boat, and they're a little bit just too afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to put in the emotional labor and struggle with trying to educate every person they come across, but if you could just be patient, sometimes people just don't know better, and you can help them.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just genuinely curious.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. And I think sometimes you can definitely tell in the way they might communicate something, whether it's coming from a place of, I genuinely don't understand and I don't know what the right thing is to say here, and I've potentially said the wrong thing, versus someone who's like out to cause harm. And if people are there not understanding, if I have capacity, I've always got time to explain and answer questions. But yeah, sometimes there can be a grey area of like, if I answer you, are you going to get meaner or are you going to take a minute?
Yeah, you do kind of answer at your own risk.
Yeah, for sure. I would not hate there being a little trans country, not where we all get sent back to in this way, not in the way this person is thinking, but in the way of just like here's a lovely safe space for all the trans people where trans rights are just a given.
Have you seen those TikToks that are, I'm sure I've sent you at least one or two of them, but they're Canadian real estate versus private islands?
Oh, possibly.
For the same price that you can buy an average house in Vancouver, you can buy a private island in many different parts of the world with huge properties on it. You can get European castles too for the same price. But imagine having one of those private islands, seceding from whatever country it's in, and then becoming your own trans country for the price of a house.
A very expensive house, but oh my god. You've just planted a thought in my head. Oh, it could just be like a little trans meetup space once a year. We all hang out and there's no transphobes. Oh, that would be nice. See, transphobes are always like, let's have a space where trans people are not around us, and not understanding that trans people would absolutely love to not have to interact with or be around transphobes.
And everyone can go swimming and not worry about it.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Take it away, OT.
Is that Leo? I think it is. I follow him on TikTok. I'm by his lives every once in a while. He's awesome. He's buff. Very strong too. And funny. And the deepest voice. This is
Cool
on
guy.
r/196. What is that subreddit?
I have no idea.
Rule! Sorry, miss. You are still a girl no matter what you do.
There comes a point where you're like, how much did you effort to write that? I'm just imagining some like transphobe sweating, reading this 10 times to make sure they've not been an accidental ally. Just like,
Did I do this the right way? Have I said everything to be as hurtful as possible?
they just look so silly. Yeah, I feel like it must just be a spam account where they've maybe got banned for saying things, so they just set up random ones.
They're really taking a stab at it, though. You don't normally see a lot of transphobe. Well, I mean, comparatively, there's less transphobia for the trans men out there because they don't really know how to tackle that conversation. They're usually just against the trans women because they're like, oh, you don't fit in. Haha, we can always. And then this absolute Chad lad of a monstrously large dude comes in the conversation, and it's like, sorry, miss, with a capital M. Gotcha. Yeah. But it doesn't, it kind of falls flat on its face.
I would agree. The transphobia around trans men is very much just like, ha, girl. And it's like, okay, but you can say whatever you want. Doesn't change facts. But like the trans women transphobia is like, people have scripts for that. They're like, I know exactly how I want to attack you. And it's going to be this very specific way and about this very specific thing in your life, like access to public spaces. And trans men definitely get like forgotten in that conversation, which is both like under the radar transphobia.
Show him a picture of a big muscly dude with a beard, and it's like, oh, which bathroom should this person go into? Obviously the men's.
Yeah. Although I did hear a transphobe try to rationalize that argument, because argument is, if you want to push trans women into the men's, then you're pushing trans men into the women's, which is just, it's the whole concept is ridiculous either way.
Yes.
But then they were posed with the question, so this transphobe was asked, what would you say about a trans man who has transitioned and has a beard and has had lower surgery, or not even lower surgery, but just who very much for all intents and purposes you would never know was trans? And they're like, oh, well, they should use the men's. And then they then went one step further and they were like, and anybody who could be perceived as a man should use the men's.
Oh my gosh. So cis women with beards have to go use the men's now too. Interesting.
Yeah. Gender non-conforming cis women who present in a very masculine way, they have to use the men's apparently. And it's just also, that's how like deep you've fallen into this rabbit hole. There's no way out, so you're just digging it deeper and deeper, and that's where the argument has reached now.
Yeah, but that's the intent though. They know it doesn't make sense. They know it's self-contradictory. They just know that if they cause enough chaos in this, they make enough people feel uncomfortable in participating in public, then they won't see them in public anymore.
Eek.
Makes me a little miffed the more I think about it, which is why I really like going out to places where it shows pictures of not just like hot dog and burger on the outside of the bathroom, but it's actually like the different gendered symbols. It's like, everybody can use any washroom, does not matter.
Yeah.
Generalized pooping stations, everybody poops.
Exactly. And airplane bathrooms are all gender neutral anyway. I have a real bugbear with men's public bathrooms because there's typically only one stall. And if somebody's already in there, it's like trans man problem 101. You're just standing there waiting for some guy to do the poop of his life before you can go in. And it's so much fun. I saw a photo of some bathroom signs that I thought you might like. They were gendered, so we need to forgive them for that. But they said lobster and lobster.
Oh, I didn't even hear the second one. Hold on. Lobster is really cute. I like that. What's the other one?
Lobster. And I was like, that's great. You can have a lobster or a lobs them.
Okay, that would have saved it. Yeah, the lobster. That's very clever. Lobster is such a stretch. I don't like that.
It's clunky, but I was like, I forgive it because lobster works so well, and I think lobster.
Yes,
works
that would have been
too.
cute. I would have forgiven the sir if there was a there as well. If there was a there.
I'm with you.
Hey, Dad, I think I'm a girl.
Well, you're not.
Thanks, Dad. That's how they imagine this meme sounding. Oh, you got him. Great job.
I didn't know it was that easy. That's how you stop being trans?
Oh, no.
This is an example of that super unimaginative transphobia that just makes me go, oh.
I mean, it's just the one joke over and over and over again. Just
Absolutely.
Be more creative.
It's like the attack helicopter joke.
I did not even know what that was about until, I think even back in 2019 when I was starting my channel, I had no idea what attack helicopter was referencing. I thought that was just like quote unquote genderless option, was just you'd say a thing, insert thing for non-gendered option. And then I learned later that wasn't how other people were using it. Oh my gosh. I was very surprised.
It's one that people still say now to be like, haha, I'm hilarious.
I've seen members of the trans community reclaim it though and use attack helicopter as their own joke, and those memes I found pretty funny. And then people are trying to say it back to them. It's like, haha, well, don't you know I am and there's like trans flags on an Apache. Apache.
I was gonna say Apache.
Oh.
It works.
Yeah.
God created Adam and Eve. Satan made up all the other genders.
The
That's a good
two
laugh.
true genders. Adam and Eve.
And Eve. Forget he, him, she, hers. It's Adam and Eve.
Bible's so funny. Even in their example here, Adam gave birth to Eve.
Oh, so Adam did. Wow. I respect that. He's a little seahorse. The gotcha of Satan, though, it's like, and everything else is terrible and not real because
Satan.
Okay, sure.
I mean, that's interesting. So God was limiting their knowledge, and then Satan, the bringer of knowledge, let them know about the other stuff in the world?
Yes.
They didn't even know about nudity until they ran into Satan, right? Are they going to say that nudity is not real now? Oh my goodness.
Maybe nothing is real. Oh dear, that's very deep for the end of the video, isn't it? So India Willoughby, trans woman, says, I'm more of a woman than J.K. Rowling will ever be. And J.K. Rowling, quote, retweets it saying, citation needed, which I find very rich rich for somebody who wrote a very long essay making very, very wild claims about the trans community and did not include a single citation.
That's the one that you and Shava made a very long video about, isn't it?
Yes. It took time, but it was considerably, like, I wouldn't say easy, but it was relatively simple to break down because there was no substance to what she was saying. There was no citations. There was no backing up. The stuff wasn't even factual. It was full of half-truths. And I just find it very ironic that it's now J.K. Rowling requesting a citation when I would love for her to give some citations for the absolutely out there things that she claims about the trans community. But no, it's always the trans people that need to prove themselves. Oh dear.
Yeah, she's quite the character. I don't know. If I had more money than God and I lived in a castle, I think I'd just kind of like disappear a little bit. Maybe just kind of tend to my own business. I wouldn't try to self-insert myself into every conversation that's happening. Try to put myself up on a pedestal and talk about how cool I am.
I feel like there would be more fun things to do.
Like not being a dick.
Yes. Yeah. That took me by surprise from you, but I completely agree. There are better things to do than being a dick.
Like being a spud. Make sure you subscribe to the channel today, everybody.
Or being a beardo and weirdo and subscribing to OT.
Did you know, Jamie, I'm going to tell you something that's not even fishing for anybody to like comment on the video, but you can if you see this happening. Also, check with all the other channels, everybody, in the comments. Check that you're still subscribed to the channel. You're going to think like, oh, I got the notification. I'm definitely still subscribed, but there's still an issue happening across YouTube. People are being randomly unsubbed from channels that they used to be subbed to. So just scroll down, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not, change that. But for whatever reason, sometimes either the initial subscription didn't hold or it's bumped you off the list for whatever, like inactivity or weird activity or something. Sub twice if you need to.
Woo!
A fictional character listed up there. What is their problem with Elliot? Dude's just out there living his best life.
I think that's their problem. There's a trans person out there.
He's happy? We can't allow that.
He's happy. He's living his best life and he's doing good in the world.
He's happy without our permission. Wait, www.cia.gov.
And the trans bus, and there's something in the water. And have you seen the prizes along the top? So
are they transing the water?
Did you not know? I thought that was common knowledge.
Well, I remember they're putting something in the water, turn the friggin' frogs gay. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the frogs becoming trans from the water.
Well, that's the new update. That's
oh my God.
Water 2.0.
They just got patched in.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't got that DLC yet. Literal cult.
Whichever film is the gayest, the audience award. I mean, that should be a legit category. I'm not against that. The award for the gayest movie. But
accepting the Academy Award for gayest movie this year.
They've made something all about trans people and being transphobic, and there's just like a little hit of homophobia on the end there. It's so weird.
It's kind of cute though. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like that was a bit of an accidental ally moment right there.
Whoopsie.
I included this one because Little Miss Sunshine is actually my favorite movie of all time.
Really? No.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad, Jamie.
It makes you feel all the feelings. It makes me feel sad.
He wants to be a fighter pilot.
I know.
And then he finds out because he's colorblind he can't, and oh, his heart breaks on screen.
But I like it. It's a movie that makes me feel a lot. I like it, and they've ruined it. But they have ruined it. But they've made this awful abomination from it. What are they thinking? Yeah, I thought it was a nice fun one to end on. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want that to be the last meme, it's wild.
How are you feeling after all that transphobia?
It's fine. Like all the images were new, but all of the thoughts are just the same thing over and over and over again. They don't really come up with new material.
Like transphobia is horrible, and I hate it when it, obviously I hate it, but like when it has a real life impact on the rights and lives of trans people and it gets into politics. But when it comes to these, I'm kind of at that stage of, I often find them funnier than I do offensive.
A lot of the time, yeah.
They're so bad. They're so unimaginative. They show such a complete and utter lack of understanding of even the basic meaning of trans, even like just kind of surface level what is being trans. So I find them kind of more fascinating to go through rather than difficult. And thank you for joining me on today's ride through transphobia. Unoriginal, horrible transphobia.
That's fine. I always enjoy these. Facts don't care about your feelings crowd sure has a lot of feelings. It's kind of fun to see them make little memes trying to hurt other people's feelings, and it's just like, it doesn't hit, fam.
Yeah, it doesn't. And often a lot of the memes are projections.
No, I'm glad you make videos like this, and we can just kind of like poke fun at this. People who come across these randomly out in the wild don't have to feel that alone when they're looking at it, and they can try to look at it with your perspective a little bit. Just try to find the humor and stuff, because they are a small but very vocal minority.
They are indeed. And I want to take the power out of stuff like this, because these like very bad little memes, they don't deserve to upset somebody's day. I like that. If someone comes across one, just find a way to laugh at it. Thank you very much for joining me today, OT.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jamie. Thanks for having me, Spuds. Good to be back.
Yes, it's lovely to see you make a wonderful return, and I would highly recommend all Spuds out there, go click that link in the description box to go follow OT and see the video that we are now about to film for his channel.
Oh yeah, we're doing one for my side.
But I have no idea what it is.
Me neither.
Oh.
I'll make something up on the fly and you'll think it's planned.
Joe, I can't wait. It's going to be a ride. Think about giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.
Bye.